Your Mercedes has been hiding something from you. Right now, as you read this, your car is sitting in the driveway, packed with features that could save you hundreds of dollars, prevent damage you didn't even know was happening, and completely change the way you experience every single drive. And the craziest part, Mercedes never told you about them. Not the dealership, not the salesperson who handed you the keys with a smile. Nobody. Here's what makes this even more frustrating. These aren't experimental beta features buried in some software update that might come out next year. They're already in your car, fully functional, waiting. The engineers who built your Mercedes spent thousands of hours designing and testing these systems, and yet less than 1% of owners ever use them. Some of these features could have stopped a scratch that cost you $400 to fix. Others could have saved your battery on a cold winter morning when the car wouldn't start and you were already late. A few of them will genuinely make you wonder why you ever drove without them. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 10 hidden features that Mercedes has quietly built into their vehicles. Features that most long-time owners have never heard of, and features that once you know about them, you will never stop using. Stay until the very end, because the final feature on this list is the one that changes everything. Feature number 1 is what insiders call the comfort closing function, and it's one of the most overlooked conveniences in the entire Mercedes lineup. If your car is equipped with the optional electric sunroof and electric windows, which covers the majority of newer models, you can close every single window and the panoramic roof simultaneously without even being inside the vehicle. You simply hold down the lock button on your key fob, and within seconds, every opening seals shut. No more running back to the car because you forgot the windows were cracked. No more soaking wet interior because a storm rolled in while you were at dinner. This feature works on most models produced from around 2016 onward, and it requires nothing more than the standard remote key that came with your vehicle. The opening function works just as well. Hold the unlock button, and everything slides open to let fresh air flood the cabin before you even step inside. On a hot summer afternoon, that alone is worth knowing. Feature number 2 is the intelligent mirror dip, and it directly prevents one of the most common and most expensive types of parking damage people deal with: curb rash. When you engage reverse gear, the passenger side mirror automatically tilts downward at a precise angle, giving you a clear view of the curb line and exactly where your rear wheel is in relation to it. This isn't a factory default on every trim level, but it can be activated through the infotainment system on virtually every model that has electric mirror adjustment. You navigate to the vehicle settings, find the mirror menu, and enable the reverse tilt function. Once it's on, it stays on. Every single time you put the car in reverse, the mirror drops into position, and every single time you pull out of park, it returns to normal. Replacing a scuffed alloy wheel costs anywhere from $200 to $600, depending on the size and finish. This feature costs you about 45 seconds to activate. Feature number 3 involves something that almost every Mercedes owner has experienced, without realizing there was a solution built right into the car: the dreaded battery drain from leaving the vehicle parked for extended periods. Modern Mercedes vehicles are packed with connected systems. ambient sensors, network modules, location tracking, and dozens of background processes that continue drawing power even when the car is locked and sitting still. If you park your car for 2 weeks or more without driving it, there is a real chance you come back to a dead battery. What most people don't know is that newer Mercedes models equipped with the latest Mercedes Me connectivity platform have a deep sleep mode embedded in the settings menu. When activated, the system shuts down all non-essential electronic processes while keeping critical security functions alive. Your alarm stays armed. Your remote locking still works, but everything else essentially goes dormant. You can find this under the Vehicle section of the main settings menu, typically listed under Energy Management or Battery Protection, depending on your model year. Activating it before a long trip or an extended storage period can be the difference between a car that starts immediately and a car that needs a jump start in an airport parking garage at midnight. In feature number 4 is the variable ambient lighting system that goes far beyond the basic color selection most people play with once and forget. In vehicles equipped with the high-resolution ambient lighting package available on the E-Class from around 2016 onward and standard on the S-Class, the lighting system is tied directly to the driving mode selector. Most owners know they can pick a color. What they don't know is that the system can be programmed to automatically shift colors based on which driving mode is active. Comfort mode pulses a soft, warm white. Sport mode deepens into a cool blue or sharp red, depending on your preference. When the navigation system is guiding you, the ambient strip on the instrument panel can shift to indicate turns before the audio prompt even fires. To unlock this behavior, you go into the ambience menu in the infotainment, find the dynamic lighting option, and enable mood-based transitions. It sounds like a small thing, but the first time your car's interior shifts color the moment you punch it into sport mode on an empty highway, it will feel like the car is alive. Feature number 5 is one that could save you a genuinely significant amount of money in a moment of conflict. The integrated dash cam functionality, available on newer Mercedes models, equipped with the 360-degree camera system. Most people know they have cameras for parking. Almost nobody knows those cameras can record. Through the Mercedes Me app and the vehicle's infotainment system, you can activate the Drive Recorder function, which uses the existing camera hardware to continuously log video while you're driving. In the event of an accident, a collision, or even a parking lot incident where someone hits your car and drives away, you have footage. In Germany, you must first accept the privacy disclosure through the infotainment screen before the recorder activates, and the same applies in most other markets. The setup takes about 3 minutes. The footage it captures in a hit-and-run situation could save you from paying your full deductible and protect your insurance record. This feature is available on most models from 2019 onward that came with the Surround View parking package. Feature number 6 is the automatic high beam assist. And the reason it makes this list is not because people don't know it exists. It's because almost nobody has it configured correctly. The system uses a forward-facing camera to detect oncoming vehicles and automatically switches between high beams and low beams without any input from the driver. What most people miss is the sensitivity adjustment buried in the driver assistance settings. Out of the factory, the system is calibrated conservatively, meaning it tends to dim the lights earlier and brighter than necessary which reduces your visibility on rural roads. You can adjust the detection sensitivity through the Assistance Systems menu in the main settings screen. Increasing the sensitivity threshold means the system waits slightly longer before dimming, giving you a longer cone of light on dark roads while still protecting oncoming drivers from glare. On a long night drive through unlit countryside, the difference is immediately noticeable. Feature number 7 is the active brake hold function, and this one frustrates drivers more than almost any other because it is genuinely useful and genuinely invisible unless someone tells you it exists. When you bring the vehicle to a complete stop, at a traffic light, in a parking lot, anywhere, you can press the brake hold button located near the center console, and the car will maintain full brake pressure without you keeping your foot on the pedal. When you're ready to move, you simply press the accelerator and the system releases automatically. No rolling back on hills, no leg fatigue in heavy stop-and-go traffic, no accidentally releasing the brake while you're adjusting something. The button itself is often overlooked because it sits among several other buttons that drivers rarely interact with. But once you start using it in city traffic, you will never go back. It is available on virtually every Mercedes model from around 2015 onward that has an automatic transmission. Feature number 8 is the seat memory profile linked to driver recognition, which is a feature that exists on many Mercedes vehicles but is almost universally set up incorrectly, or never set up at all. Every driver who regularly uses a Mercedes with memory seats should have their own profile saved, including mirror positions, steering column position, ambient lighting preferences, infotainment favorites, and seat position. What most people don't realize is that these profiles can be linked to a specific key fob. When a different driver picks up their key and unlocks the car, the vehicle can automatically adjust every setting to that driver's saved preferences before they even sit down. To configure this, you go into the Vehicle Profiles section of the Settings menu, create a profile for each driver, assign it to the corresponding key through the Key Management submenu, and enable Automatic Recall. If you share a car with a partner, a family member, or even a regular driver, this single setup step eliminates every seat adjustment argument permanently. Feature number 9 involves the hidden aggressiveness of the transmission system that most drivers never unlock. Mercedes automatic transmissions are programmed with multiple shift maps layered on top of each other, and they actively monitor your inputs to select which map to prioritize. What this means in practice is that after a period of calm, a conservative driving, the transmission settles into its most fuel-efficient, laziest shift pattern. The moment you need performance, merging onto a highway, overtaking at speed, pulling out of a junction, there is a brief but noticeable hesitation while the system recalibrates. The fix is not a modification. It is a driving technique. By regularly cycling through the Sport and Sport Plus modes on the Drive Mode selector during your normal commute, even briefly, you keep the transmission's adaptive logic in a more responsive state. Additionally, using the paddle shifters during spirited driving retrains the map in real time. The car literally learns the way you want it to behave. Give it the right inputs consistently, and within a few hundred miles, the gearbox transformation becomes undeniable. Feature number 10 is the one that changes everything, and it's called the Vehicle Health Monitor. A function so useful, it's almost offensive that Mercedes doesn't advertise it more prominently. Through the Mercedes Me app, Available on both iPhone and Android, you can at any moment pull a complete diagnostic snapshot of your vehicle's major systems. Battery charge status, tire pressure on all 4 corners, fluid levels, upcoming service due dates, and any active fault codes that have been logged by the onboard diagnostic system. But here is the part that most people miss entirely. The app can be configured to send you proactive push notifications when any of these values go outside of normal range. Low tire pressure overnight? You get a notification before you get in the car. Battery voltage dropping after sitting for several days? You get an alert before you're stranded. An emissions or engine fault that appears and then disappears. It's logged, time-stamped, and accessible before you even know anything happened. Setting this up takes about 10 minutes in the app. You link your vehicle identification number, enable push notifications in the app settings, and configure the alert thresholds for the parameters you want to monitor. Once it's running, you essentially have a mechanic sitting in your driveway watching your car around the clock. These 10 features represent a tiny fraction of what Mercedes has engineered into their vehicles over the past decade. The irony is that the engineers who built these systems designed them specifically to make your life easier, your driving safer, and your ownership experience more valuable. But between the complexity of the infotainment menus, the thickness of the owner's manual that almost nobody reads, and the dealership's focus on selling the next car rather than explaining the one you just bought, most of this engineering goes completely to waste. The drivers who actually use their cars to the fullest don't have a special technical background. They just know where to look. Now you do too. Every feature on this list is already in your vehicle. All it takes is the knowledge that it's there and a few minutes to turn it on. Start with the one that solves the most immediate problem for you. Whether that's protecting your wheels, saving your battery, or finally getting the transmission to stop hunting gears at the worst possible moment. The car you've been driving has been waiting to show you what it can actually do. If this video helped you discover something about your Mercedes you genuinely didn't know before, hit the like button right now. It takes 1 second, and it tells the algorithm that content like this is worth showing to more people. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next breakdown. Every week we go deep on the features, the mistakes, and the insider knowledge that the manufacturers and dealerships quietly keep to themselves. Whether you drive a Mercedes, a BMW, an Audi, or any German car, there is always something worth knowing that nobody bothered to tell you. Hit subscribe and make sure you're the one who finds out first.